So hey everyone, welcome to the show So You Want to Become, and I'm your host Krishna Ranganathan. Today is a special day as this is the first episode of our Alumni Celebration series, and we are launching it as a part of the 50 years of celebration of PS Senior Secondary School. I'd like to take a moment and thank our school principal Dr. Revathi Parameshwaran and our correspondent Shri P.S. Prabhakar for letting me be a part of this proud moment. This series actually sits close to my heart as I will be meeting the alumni who once sat where I did and have gone on to do incredible things. And I'm truly honored to invite our first guest, Vidwan Saketharaman. He is one of the most renowned Carnatic singers in India, and not only that, he is also the senior vice president of one of the biggest global financial firms, Goldman Sachs. So sir, welcome to the show, and I'm truly honored to have you here.
Namaste. I'm so happy to be here and talking about my experiences for So You Want to Become show with Krishna Ranganathan. I would like to thank the PS Senior Secondary School management for this opportunity, especially Srimati Revathi Parameshwaran, Principal, and Shri P.S. Prabhakar, Correspondent of PS Senior Secondary School.
So sir, I'd like to ask you something which is like takes you to the beginning. How did it exactly start for you? How did your Carnatic music career start?
It's a great question. I started learning Carnatic music from the age of 4. So it started very early for me. And I learned under multiple gurus before I came under the tutelage of Sri Lalgudi Jayaraman sir at the age of 9. And that is when I could see the Vishwarupam, or the dimensions, or the multiple dimensions of what Carnatic music could offer. And ever since, I have been like deeply interested in Carnatic music. So it's not so much about performance and concerts and all those things. It's about the passion of Carnatic music. It's a passion of learning Carnatic music. So that was something that Lalgudi sir's training made a huge difference in me, and I got deeply interested in Carnatic music ever since. I came under his tutelage in the year of 91-92, and ever since I've been like deeply passionate about Carnatic music.
So let's like think about your school days. Has there been a moment it still makes you smile when you think about it? It still makes you smile. Has there been a moment like that?
I spent like 14 years in the school, like right from kindergarten all the way till 12th standard. So there have been many moments. So if I were to share one or two moments, it would be the school excursion every year that I would keenly look forward to. Back in those days, we could go to the museum or the planetarium or maximum till Vandalur Zoo. I don't know if things have changed now, but more than the venue, it was about the friendships and the bonding with my friends, right? Like we used to share the lunch, the special lunch and snacks and stuff like that. So that is always special to me because the bonding I had with my friends, and I still have a very good relationship with my friends who I studied from kindergarten all the way till 12th, and they are my best friends today. So that the seeds were germinated during those times in the excursion that we used to go for along with my friends and peers.
Was there a teacher or a moment in school that made you realize or made you believe that you can follow both your passion for studies and music?
Back then, Srimati Alamelu ma'am was the principal of PS Senior Secondary School. She was a visionary. She was such an inspirational person, and she was deeply passionate about Carnatic music. And while she was a very strict disciplinarian and was very keen in people pursuing academics, she was also very much vested in Indian culture and fine arts. So she was very much an inspirational person for me because she used to come for every Chaturthi, not just Vinayaka Chaturthi, every Chaturthi, and perform puja for the Sri Vidya Ganapati idol here in PS Senior Secondary School. And we used to sing compositions on Ganesha, and you could see that a person like Alamelu ma'am was like, could do everything. Like, she was very passionate about academics. She was very passionate about culture and fine arts, and I think that made a very huge impact on me, that one could actually like pursue both. One could say that riding on two horses, but I felt that this was a place, it was a very good blend of both academics and fine arts, and she made a huge impression on me. And the other person who made such a big impression was Padma Shri ma'am, who was my class teacher in 11th and 12th standard, because I had done reasonably well in 10th standard, like not extraordinary. I got like about 460 on 500. So I needed to change my strategy in terms of how I prepared for the exams, and Srimati Padma Shri ma'am made such a huge difference in terms of how I should prepare for the exams, and due to her efforts and my parents' efforts, I was able to secure the All India first in 12th grade, about 488 on 500. So I think that was largely due to Padma Shri ma'am's efforts in terms of how you should strategize. It's not just about hard work. It's also about how you plan, how you prepare, how you strategize. That those two people made such a huge difference in my lives very early on.
So when did you realize Carnatic music was going to be a part of your life? Like it's now playing a huge role in your life. And so when did you realize it? And as you realized it, what do you think are the challenges that you faced as you're pursuing it?
It was not like one particular moment or one particular day when I felt that Carnatic music would be part of my life forever, right? So you go through different experiences. You are in school. I did my college engineering in PSG Tech, Coimbatore, and then worked in Bangalore, relocated to Chennai. So I've been through different experiences. But the one thing that always remained constant was Carnatic music. And as I said, it's not like a particular moment or a particular day, but what gave me maximum happiness was Carnatic music. It's another thing to get an external vindication from audience, Rasikas. It's very important, absolutely, especially in a field like fine arts, culture. Like, Rasikas make such a huge difference. But then the most important thing is you need to enjoy doing what you love. I think for me, that's the primary thing. I feel very blissful when I sing, and that remains true even today, right? I get up very early in the morning and practice for a couple of hours of singing right from my school days, be it whether I was studying 5th standard or even today. That habit hasn't changed at all. Like getting up at 4:30, 4:45 and practicing for a couple of hours, that is the best part of my life. Yes, I love performing concerts, I love performing for audiences, Rasikas, and singing for them, absolutely. But then I need to enjoy my own singing, and that's when you can transport that experience to the Rasikas. So that experience of singing at home, I feel very blissful. Again, it's not to say that I don't make mistakes at home or so when I sing. Of course you do. But beyond all those things, there is something that gives you extraordinary joy. And it's not about money. It's not about titles. It's not about promotions and things like that. It's just the joy of singing, right? And that has to remain constantly throughout my life, and that's what keeps me going, and that's why I'm like passionate about Carnatic music, and that's what actually like keeps me going. It's not like a particular moment or anything like that. It's just the joy of singing. It just gives me so much of happiness. See, in any field you face a lot of challenges. Early on, it's about establishing yourself, because there are hundreds of people. How do you establish your own identity? That is a very key thing, because you need to have a USP, something for yourself. Like, why should people come and attend your concert? There are hundreds of people performing. There must be something unique about you. And finding that space takes a lot of time. It's a journey, right? Like, so establishing yourself and creating that identity for yourself is very, very important. For me, because of my background in math, and I also learned Mridangam in PS Senior Secondary School from Shri Babu Rajashekar, who is the prominent player for Brahmashri Udayalur Kalyana Rama Bhagavatar. There's Nama Sankirtanam. Babu Rajashekar is the constant Mridangam Vidwan who has been playing for Udayalur sir for like more than probably 2-3 decades now. And I used to learn Mridangam from him. So because of my upbringing in math, Mridangam and music, so something I was naturally attracted to was the concept of Ragam Tanam Pallavis in Carnatic music, Pallavis. So that I started composing a lot. So when you start composing, and there are very few composers in the contemporary world of Carnatic music, so that created an identity for me. So in terms of actually like, it's not only about performing, creating your own music, creating your own compositions, it actually like gives you a lot of joy and it creates an identity for you. And I love experimenting a lot. So over period of time, what you will feel in any field for that matter is that you will feel saturated after a certain point. You will feel a little bit of boredom or repetitiveness doing the same thing. So you need to explore yourself and find facets that you haven't explored till date. And that's the beauty about Carnatic music. It's like it takes the shape of water. It can adapt to anything. So I take inspiration from anything. Like for example, a web series like Money Heist. And actually I compose a Pallavi based on that. And it's you can see Carnatic music in everything, and that's what I see. Like I see Carnatic music in everything. That's how my guru Sri Lalgudi Jayaraman sir saw that. And so I don't see like, oh, this is Carnatic music, this is light music, this is Western. I can see Carnatic in everything and get inspiration out of anything. So that's how you kind of reinvent yourself over a period of time, because it's very important to be relevant, stay contemporary, and reinvent yourself after every 5 years or so. So those are the challenges you face every 5 years. First, initial days is about establishing yourself, your brand, your identity. Then over time you have to see like, okay, you would have created an image for yourself, but you have to do something new and something completely a different avatar or a 2.2 version of yourself you need to bring. And then again in another 5-10 years you will see you will be saturated. So what now can you bring, like how much more can you add, and so that's a very important thing. So those are the constant challenges that you face in your lives. And with technology, right, and something that you practice for years before you actually like present something on stage used to be the norm early days. But now with technology, that you might practice for years together and then you present a composition on stage, it's there instantly in social media. So then what do you do for next concert, right? So those are the challenges that always remain. And so that's why you have to kind of keep thinking all the time, keep composing, getting inspiration from everything that you see around you. And that's what keeps me going.
You're also the senior vice president at Goldman Sachs. So how do you balance both your passion for music and your career, sir? As an 18-year-old, I envy you entirely because I can't balance two things at the same time. So you're also, as I said, you're also the vice president at Goldman Sachs. So how did your journey to corporate world actually look like when you started it?
I feel the word balance itself is an overused word. It's about prioritization. So I would say it's work-life prioritization rather than work-life balance. And I think as an individual, 5 pillars are very important for everyone. First and foremost, health. You need to take care of yourself, because unless you're fit, you would be a liability for your family. Second, it's about family. Whatever you do, it's for your family. Like you need to take care of your parents, you need to take care of your spouse and kids. And so that's the second most important thing. Third, obviously if you're not contributing for your workplace, you're not going to be like valued. So in your chosen profession, you need to be definitely adding value. Fourth, pursuing your passion. Your passion is what will keep you driving, will drive you for the rest of your lives. And fifth, after all these, you need to give something back to the society. It's very important that you make a contribution and give back to the society that has made you whatever you are today. So all these 5 pillars are very important for me. But you cannot be contributing towards each of these pillars on every day, every single day. You cannot be like giving equal number of hours for each of these pillars. So prioritization is very, very important. During Margari, Carnatic music takes center stage. That's the only thing that I focus on. When my kids have exams, I play the role of a father more, and then spending time with them, teaching them. There are times at work when it's like very quarter ends, year ends and things like that. There are super important critical periods at work when you have to actually devote a lot more hours to your workplace, like sometimes about 18 hours or so. So to me, it's about prioritization, but that said, it's not like you just don't spend any time towards other things and you just focus on only one thing also. You have to be constantly giving some amount of time. Like for example, practicing a couple of hours, no matter what. That is important for your voice and for yourself to keep in that zone. So no matter what, I always practice for a couple of hours of singing, right? Obviously, it increases a lot more during Margari and other things. But that's it. You just need to know how to prioritize stuff and how to set expectations with the stakeholders. Like everyone in my workplace knows that, like for the last 20 years, like I'll be off during December. So that kind of stakeholder management is very, very important in terms of setting that expectations. And then you also need to remember that once you get onto stage, like for example, people don't care about what you do in other walk of your life. You're on stage, you forget like you're a senior vice president or whatever it is. And similarly, when you're at work, you forget that you're a musician. All you have to focus is contribute towards that sphere of life. And you keep them as much as possible watertight compartments so that you kind of ensure that actually you're giving your 100% to whatever you pursue. And as far as passion is concerned, I feel that you will make time no matter what. I don't like giving excuses to myself. I don't like to compromise on my work ethic. And my parents have put me through a very grinding schedule from very early days. So we talk about parenting, sometimes tiger parenting. And in my case, I would say it's dinosaur parenting from my mom, because it was only about work. It's only about academics, music, and culture, like bhakti, devotion towards God, right? Like only these three were the only things that my mom used to actually like get us focused on. And so for me, getting up early, 4:30 in the morning, and working till 11 o'clock or 10:30, 11 every single day is not big deal for me, because that is the grinding schedule that I've been put on from a very young age. So for example, I used to get up at 4:30, practice for a couple of hours, go to maths tuition, go to school, and then come back and then go to classes, music class, Lalgudi sir's class was for about 4 hours, then come back and again prepare for the assignments. Back then, unit tests were called assignments, and we used to have every alternate week this unit test. So this was a very routine thing. So, and I love doing that actually. Like I'm a workaholic, and I love pursuing this passion, and it's not like I don't have any kind of recreation or so, but then you'd be surprised to know that actually like the first vacation I took was only a couple of years back. Actually, last year only, in fact, I took my first vacation with family. I've never taken any vacation in all my 4 decades since I was born. So, because when you love doing something, you don't feel like you need a break from anything, right? And I did that only because my family was asking, like, let's go somewhere to North India and then just explore something. So that was the first time I had taken a vacation for a week, actually. So after 4 decades, that was the first time I had taken a break as such. So when you are passionate about something, you would love doing it, you would do, and you would not give excuse, and you would make things happen. So that's how I think about it.
So how many compositions have you done on your own?
Yeah, I have done till date about 250 compositions of my own. So for every concert of mine, there'll be at least 1 or 2 compositions of mine. The center stage Ragam Tanam Pallavi will be my own composition, and which is what I sing for about 40 to 60 minutes. So that will be the main theme of every concert, because I feel like as a musician, you also need to be like a composer. You need to be a tunesmith that will add new dimensions and bring in new perspectives, rather than, of course, I love singing the yesteryear compositions and because you want to still add freshness to those songs, compositions as well, and bring your own perspective. Yes, absolutely. But in addition, I love exploring that facet of mine, which is like to compose something and new, and that kind of challenges yourself. Sometimes you might fail as well in that experiment, because experiments are always like, it's not going to be like 100% successful. I would say it's about 75 to 80% success rate. Then I feel like you're doing well.
So is there a big piece of advice actually, that you would like to give to the students who are watching, or the people who are watching this video?
I wouldn't say advice, because the people today, the kids, the students are much more talented than my generation. So, I mean, we can see that people are already entrepreneurs even while they are studying, they're doing their high school, and so they are extremely talented. I think I don't think they require an advice per se, but I mean, I can share some of the experiences from my life. And I think even in today's world, which is very competitive, and we talk about survival of the fittest and thing, one thing that I think that will still remain always relevant is collaboration. Like, you have to think of collaborating with people that will make your life very, very easy. Like 50% of the battle is won when you have good relationships with people. Because when people, you might be leading a team, or you might be having to work with people who are challenging otherwise, but then your soft skills make such a huge difference. Like, and not just faking it. If you invest in relationships that are not transactional, which are not like one-off type of thing, like you build in relationships which will stand good for your rest of your life, I think that will make such a huge difference, because people should love working for you, whether it's your team members, you might be a manager, or you might be an individual contributor, it doesn't matter, but people should love working with you. And once they see that, the way they contribute and they start working with you for you will completely be transformational. And so that collaboration aspect is something that I value very much. And we talk about inclusiveness and other things, but if you're really invested in relationships, and I think that makes a huge difference in lives. And I'm sure people today, the students themselves, are seeing that, but I just thought that is something that I will share from my experience.
So thank you, sir. Thank you for being here. It's lovely. It was a lovely session having you here. Thank you.
Thank you, Krishna. It was a great opportunity for me to share my experience. PS Senior Secondary School is celebrating its Golden Jubilee, 50th year. That's no mean milestone. And thanks to all the principal management over the years, Tangam, Srimati Alamelu, Srimati Vijayalakshmi Srivatsan, Srimati Lakshmi Srinivasan, and the current principal, the dynamic Srimati Revati Parmeshwaran ma'am, Shri Prabhakar sir. Before that we had Gopalakrishnan sir, PC Ramakrishna sir, so many dynamic personalities who have built PS, and great to see what PS is today, because in my days, PS used to excel in academics and fine arts culture. Today it has grown in sports as well. It gives me so much satisfaction to see that the girls team is the champion team nationwide in football, and that is so happy to see. That's so much happy to see that, because in my days sports wasn't given that much priority at PS. So amazing to see the transformation, the journey of PS Senior, and very happy to be part of that. And thank you, Krishna, for hosting me as part of So You Want to Become show, and I hope people find it useful and can apply some of those experiences in their lives. Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste.